Welcome to the Women in Engineering podcast. Today we have another episode in our discipline preview series. I'm joined by Lily Prendergast, who is a fourth-year integrated engineering student. Lily, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. So we're just going to jump right into things, starting with first year. So what first year courses or experiences would give you the best idea of what integrated is like?
Yeah, so one of the major benefits of coming to Western is that you have a common first year program, so you get exposed to every field of engineering. And so all of the technical courses you take in first year provide some insight into what integrated will be like, because we focus on core concepts from all of the disciplines, so mechanical, chemical, electrical, and civil. In particular though, business and design are two courses that provide really great insight into the style of our degree. The focus of our program is bringing your engineering knowledge from all your disciplines together and combining it with leadership and entrepreneurial skills that we learn in third and fourth year. So if you enjoy the case method and you like applying your engineering knowledge to the real world as you do in design, integrated may be the right choice for you.
Okay, so definitely kind of like pulling from those courses a lot. And how are the profs like in integrated?
Yeah, so we don't have many specific integrated courses. We take courses that pull from all the other different disciplines, but we do have a program director, Don Uffin, and he teaches a second year design course, as well as just spends time looking for ways to improve our program, supporting integrated students, and enhancing our experience. And I think I speak on behalf of most of us, if not all of us, that he's a really major asset to our department, and we're really grateful and lucky to have him around.
I think I had him in first year. Yeah, he was so passionate and just so into the content, which is amazing, especially to run a department like that.
Yeah.
But then also, I'm guessing, so a lot of mixing with other disciplines.
Yeah, you'll take a lot of courses from mechatronics and mechanical, electrical, civil. So those professors are the professors that you have on a daily basis too.
Makes sense. And then, so how big are the classes then?
Yeah, so depending on interest levels, we have 5 to 15 students per year in integrated. This number has been steadily increasing because more people are learning about our program and are realizing the benefits of joining it. And many students do dual degrees with the Ivy School of Business or a long-term co-op, which means that numbers shift pretty significantly throughout your years. We take most of our courses, though, like I said, with other disciplines. So your class sizes change depending on the size of civil that year or mechanical that year. But class sizes, I think my year we have 8 to 10 right now that'll graduate this year. And I think we have 15 that just entered second year. So around there.
So pretty much a close-knit group.
Yeah, very small, very collaborative, close-knit.
And so what types of courses and projects are available to integrated students specifically?
Yeah, so our one major specific course is the second year design course, where students learn about systems engineering, the V model that goes like project definition and then your implementation and time spent on it, and then testing and integrating it. So there's a little graphic that is heavily focused on, as well as human-centered design, modeling and optimization, and then design for like reliability, sustainability, concepts like that. Don Uffin is the one who teaches that course, and he's been really excited about it. It gives you a chance to bond as a second year class that we didn't used to have because you were kind of all over the place taking different courses from different disciplines. And it covers a lot of things that you don't get to learn about in first year design that kind of delve deeper into the subject. And then we also do take the Center for Engineering Leadership and Innovation certificate courses in third and fourth year. So they're not specific to integrated, but it is a lot smaller class size, and all of the students from the degree are in there, along with the students taking it as a non-technical elective or as a certificate course. So.
Okay, so definitely some stuff going on with the program that's a little different than the other disciplines.
Yeah.
And are there any options to specialize within integrated?
So specialization is kind of the whole point of the degree. You end up getting to choose the specific aspects of each discipline that you really enjoy and customize your degree to be whatever you want it to be. So by the end of third year, you have a pretty good base knowledge level that can launch you into any technical elective you're interested in your final year. And you get to take 3 per semester, which is quite a few compared to what some of the other disciplines get to take. And as long as you have the prerequisites for it, or you can speak to the professor and speak to Dawn about why you're interested and why you feel like you're qualified, you're allowed to take them. So if you're interested in something more like aerospace engineering, you can take some more technical courses that are involved in like mechanical and chemical and the technical components of that field. And then if you're more interested in consulting, you could take big picture courses like project management and data analytics. It really depends on where you see yourself going in the future.
Okay, so would you say maybe it's like a do your own kind of thing degree where you can kind of go into whatever aspect you'd want?
Yeah, your first 3 years are structured. You take the courses that are set to take. But then, yeah, your final year is really a choose your own adventure.
That's really nice. It's a good option to have.
That's exciting.
And so what career paths then would integrated typically lead to, and what are the job and co-op prospects with it?
Yeah, so integrated sets you up, I think, pretty nicely for any path that you want to choose in engineering because you do get to experience it all. But there are 3 major areas that I see us kind of naturally falling into as we graduate. So the first is more big picture engineering. That's like leadership and management skills, jobs like an engineering manager or a project manager, and more entrepreneurial endeavors. The second would be more technical interdisciplinary work. So nuclear engineering, aerospace engineering, those types of companies that are pulling from a couple different disciplines of engineering. They're not just looking for a mechanical engineer or a civil engineer. And then the final one would be problem solving jobs, which is a little more vague, but they're kind of big picture roles that have a more technical aspect, like consulting or process improvement, where you're set a task and you need to pull from anywhere and everywhere to try and solve it. That being said, though, there really isn't a limit to the breadth of your career as an integrated engineer. I spent my long-term co-op these past 14 months at Scheffler doing aerospace design. But I think I'm actually really interested in environmental engineering, and I think that's where I want to go in the future. So that kind of shows you all the different aspects I've been exposed to and how I could work in one and then kind of turn around and go into a different one. I also know there's lots of students working in consulting, energy, manufacturing, those kinds of roles post-graduation.
That's really cool. So kind of just choosing where you want to go to. It's very much choose your path in 4th year and then choose where you want to go after.
Yeah.
That's really nice to have. So are there any tips you have to succeeding in integrated?
Yeah. So when I was thinking about this, there are a couple different things that stood out. Integrated in general, I feel, is about your mindset and kind of shaping how you think about the future that you're going to have in the engineering industry. So what I like to tell people at fall preview day or in first year when they're thinking about integrated is that we're not looking for where we fit into the industry, but we want to make the industry move and evolve to fit us and what we want to do. Like I said, there's no one path to success as an engineer. And so the whole point of the program is encouraging you to take into consideration all of the skills you have and all of the passions you have and combine them into a career doing work that is meaningful and enjoyable. And so I think that's really integrated specific. And then regardless of which discipline you choose, but what I think is particularly important for us is keeping an open mind, because you could end up really surprised about what you thought you were interested in and how it changes. I came into first year thinking I wanted to do software engineering and then took some courses and I was like, oh, I really like hands-on physical engineering a lot more than I thought I did, and ended up picking integrated because of that. So there are courses I've got to take now that I really loved and never would have had the opportunity to take if I'd not kept an open mind and I just stuck to what I thought I was going to do. So that would be my number one thing, is keep an open mind, keep all your options open, and try and think about all of the possibilities that are there for you, not the paths that somebody else has already forged.
So very much common trend of forge your own path.
Yeah, exactly.
And is there any advice you have for students already in the discipline or going into it?
I think if you've already chosen it, it's really important to learn from everyone else who's in there and kind of see, what are you doing and is it cool? And do I want to maybe do something similar? Because we're uniquely situated in that you can talk to people in your program and they can be doing obviously completely different things, but using the exact same skills to get themselves to those points. So learning from each other, learning from alumni of integrated, using our director, Don Uffin, he's super helpful. He knows a lot about the program, a lot about the industry, and is willing to talk you through anything that you're thinking about doing. So really use the resources of the people who are around you.
That's some good advice. And are there any extracurricular activities that are either discipline specific or non-discipline specific that you'd want to touch on?
Yeah, so there's two extracurriculars that I'm heavily involved in. The first one is discipline specific. It's the Integrated Engineering Club. And so we designed our club as not just a promotional event to first years and students who are maybe considering joining integrated, but also as a support system and kind of a bonding experience for upper year integrated students as we go through the degree. So we host social events, info sessions, panels throughout the year that you can just drop into free of charge and learn about a variety of topics. Some of the ones that we're doing this year are like an Ivy dual degree panel to kind of learn from students that are in that program, why they do it, how'd they do it. Same thing with long-term co-op. We have a lot of students who are just on long-term co-op, so we're going to host an event where you can learn about that and what they did. Sometimes we'll do like an alumni speaker from integrated, especially if they're doing something really cool now and we want to show you, hey, this could be you one day. And then social events too, because we're a really small program and we do spend a lot of our time spread out across the disciplines. So we want to form a close bond between us all. And then the other club that I'm part of is Engineering Ambassadors through Western Engineering Outreach. And so I think I joined in second year because I really enjoyed Fall Preview Day and I thought it was just a fun event to be at. So I wanted to be able to take a bigger role in promoting, especially integrated being a smaller program, directly to students at those events. So the student ambassadors just promote Western engineering at things like Fall Preview Day, other outreach events, give tours, answer questions throughout the year from prospective students, and a variety of other tasks that depend on the year. And you can apply to be a Western engineering student ambassador, usually through one of the events emails that you get at the beginning of the school year. There'll be a little posting about it and a link to where you can apply. So I've had a really good time doing that. It's probably my favorite thing that I've joined in my undergraduate degree. So I would recommend it.
Good to know. I actually didn't know it existed until this year, until I was told about it. So it's definitely something to watch for in your inboxes to all of our listeners.
Mm-hmm.
And is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think I was kind of reflecting on now that I'm in fourth year and how I'm going to be graduated soon and how wild that is to think about. I wish when I was in my earlier years, I had focused a little bit more on having fun, which sounds backwards because you think that you come to university and you're going to have a ton of fun and you need to make sure you focus on your studies. But I think we get really caught up in how hard engineering is. And it's meant to be hard, obviously. You're supposed to be challenged academically and working really hard to make sure that you understand these concepts and are qualified to take on the role of an engineer in the future, because you do have people's lives in your hands. But I have had a really good time in my third and then beginning of fourth year with all of the people that I've met, all of the engineers that I'm friends with, getting involved with extracurriculars. And I think back to first and second year and I'm like, I was a little uptight. I was a little too worried about making sure everything got done and when it got done. So having fun and making sure that regardless of what you choose, you get involved and you embrace it and you take advantage of everything that you have the opportunity to do during your full undergraduate career. Would be my ending advice, I guess.
That's good ending advice. And I feel like I definitely needed to hear it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely way too stressed for a second year.
Oh yeah, first year me definitely needed to hear it. So
so if any of our listeners do have any questions, would it be okay for them to reach out to you at any point about integrated?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So Lily's socials will be linked in the description of this episode, and that's where you can reach out to her. So I just want to say thank you for your time today, Lily, and thank you to all of our listeners as well.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And everyone have a great rest of your day.